Well, hello everyone, this is my review of the Artisul D16 pen display. This is a 15.6 inch pen display and it comes in this box, you see here, Artisul Fuel for the Creative Fire. Nice touch, that logo of that slogan, no logo slogan. And on the back is what is in this. This is a pen display you connect to your computer, either Mac OS or Windows. It's full HD, it has 7 customizable keys, it has a customizable dial, it has a battery-free pen, and it has a pen bag and a stand, the freestyle stand it's called, and a matte anti-glare screen protector is pre-applied. So that is the box it comes in, and now the content. I've already unpacked the box, so I'll quickly show you the content. Inside is a power adapter, the pouch, cables, USB and HDMI cable. There's the pen, of course, inside, see here, and there's an artist glove as an extra. There's a cloth, a wipe cloth as an extra too. Of course, there's the manuals for the stand, the user warranty is here, and another thank you card to tell you where to go and get the drivers. And there's a user manual in it too, tells you how to connect it, and you install the drivers, connect the machine, and that's actually pretty easy. And of course, aside from all these extras and the needed cables, and inside the pouch, by the way, if you get the pouch, inside the pouch there's some extra nips and a clip to remove the clips. Very nice. Quite a lot of tips on it, nips for your pen, so this should last a long time, this pen. And putting all of this aside again, of course the main important thing is what is inside. Is the display itself, and with the display comes a little holder that you can attach and detach on the side, and this is the display itself. The screen is protector is applied. There's the express keys on this side. You find the USB inside the HDMI. This is a slide up and down, and there's the power button, and there's a key. You could protect it, probably not for hanging it around your neck, but to secure it so that nobody can steal it. And the other thing you get is the stand, which is pretty nice too. The stand, it opens and closes. You can put the stand on the thing on it, and there's 2 stand holes, so you can put it in various sizes from very high to very low. And this is the lowest it will go. And then you can put this tablet on it, and I thought at first this is rather small, but actually it is not. It's perfect for this tablet. It's sturdy. Wherever you press, it is secure. It doesn't slide, move around. It's really secure if you put it on right. I didn't put it on right. And it goes nowhere. It's holding the tablet very well. And if you have an iPad or something like a 10-inch, 7 or 10-inch tablet, fits it nicely too. Great. Even the bigger tablet like the iPad Pros, it fits on here greatly, and it's secure. Nice touch. And it has all the rubber on it, and on the back too, the little rubber stands. Great, I'm surprised. I thought it was too small, but it's actually perfectly. So let's put it on there. Put it there. I'm going to zoom in the camera slightly. So I've zoomed in a little bit to get the whole tablet in, and I've connected the HDMI cable. Now I'm going to connect the USB cable. There's a little lock secure there, so you can't put it in the wrong way around, and it's really securely in there. Clicks in there. This one clicks in good as well. And let's switch this thing on, I would say. And there you go, artisul.com. And if you do it the first time, you need to install the drivers, which you can find at artisul.com. This is basically what it looks like. Great screen, and you can put the brightness. There's the 2 buttons on the side, and you can slide up your brightness and get it really high to get it really very dim. So if you're working at night, you could put it very dim. If you're working in the bright sunlight, it should be bright enough. Now the sunlight is shining inside this, and it's pretty clear. I don't need to do it at high, but for the camera I'm doing it pretty high, so that picks up well. So here's your express keys. The thing, that holder is in there, that holds the pen really secure. That is a really, I love that, really nice touch it is. And the pen, it's light and it works so nicely, it works well on the machine. So I installed these drivers, and let me put that glove on. Now the glove they send you with it is for small hands. I don't have a really large hand, but it's tight, but it works. I would say over time it stretches a little bit. So the pen, you install the drivers, and then you get a driver screen for all as well. There it is. You get this driver dashboard, and they can have an overview of your tablet. You can program the fast access keys, and then you can save your own settings, and I've already done that a little bit so that it works better with the applications I use. And you can set all these buttons, and also the dial, this dial you can set here, and you can tell it what to do and what not to do, and test it with your programs. And the nice thing about it is if you press a button, it already has certain applications, often used applications, and you can just pick the settings from there. And I'm just going to leave them a bit basics, except for this button I changed to touch drag, because it's not a touch display. You need to connect it to your computer, but it's not a touch display. So if I want to move around my canvas, I have put in touch drag, and this button reacts as if I'm going to drag my canvas around. Then you can set the pen to pressure, depending on if you're very heavy-handed, you can put it on heavy pressure. I'm light-handed, so I'm leave it at light. And you can select what these buttons do. I have a left click, right click. So the double click speed you can adjust really slow, really fast. I'm just going to leave it about in the middle. Then you can calibrate the pen, and if you calibrate the pen, you just click there and you get these things. And I'm on a little bit of an angle, so that's a bit tricky perhaps. So normally put it flat and look upright, but then you won't see what happens. You just hit those red dots, and then it should be pretty accurate. Okay, and you can also map your monitor. If you do print work, you can map it to your printer. I'm not going to do that, but you can do that and get the colors right with the printer. So I'm done with this. I'm going to save my settings. Yes, save them there, and I'm going to switch that off, and I'm going to start a sketchbook just to give you a quick impression of this thing. And I'm going to start drawing. I have a blank canvas here. Here's my canvas. If all is right, I can zoom in, zoom out with these express keys. If I do a stroke, I don't like the stroke, the undo button and the redo buttons are there. And if all is well, if I touch this button here, I can move my canvas around with pressing the pen on the screen. Really nice touch. Then it behaves as if it is a touch screen, and I really like that. I've got a bit of an older UION, and that function is not on there, so using Sketchbook on that UION is quite a challenge. But with these great features, zooming in, zooming out, no problem at all. Undo buttons, and then you have, these are Shift, Alt and Control, don't need them with it. Then the pen, let's just go to the pen. I'm going to just do an inking pen, and I'm going to do very light lines, and as you can probably, might not even see, it picks up my touch really well. And then the bigger strokes, and it goes from really light, stronger, 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 and veering off again, very light, really nice strokes, really nice and accurate where I put my pen. The pen is actually pretty accurate. It's not a laminated screen, so that means there is a bit of a gap between your pen tip, probably you can't see the pen tip, and the screen, but it's neglectable because this pen is really accurate. Wherever I left up, I can just connect again and start again. And it's really doing these really light strokes, bigger strokes, nice. Really impressed with this pen. It's lightweight, so you can use it for many hours. It doesn't need a battery, no charging, so you can keep on going. It doesn't have tilt support. I have to notice that. No tilt support. I'm not a tilt user, so that's no problem for me. I just increase my brush sizes. So really nice. Also with, let's put a paintbrush, and going bigger, going smaller. It just all works great. Nice pen. I love this pen. Great. So zooming in, zooming out, and moving this canvas around. If you really work on small details, it's all in there. So far I'm pretty impressed. The colors are I like the colors. It's accurate pen. You can put it really bright if the sun is bright, and then if it's darker and you have a lot of light, you could dim it again if you want to, if you work in darkness. The pen is really lightweight, functions well, is very accurate. It holds the pressure. So if I do much pressure, if I do medium pressure, it just holds that pressure. If I do a little bit more pressure, it holds that pressure nice. The lines are pretty straight, as you can see there, if you can draw straight lines. Not this jitter as some of these pens have. Surprisingly nice. I like it, enjoy it very much. And this is really, and the connection, I don't use the power thing, by the way. My computer powers up, so you only need 2 cables. The USB-C 3 is in one of these ports that supplies power, and this is just the HDMI cable, and that's it. And I don't need the power adapter. So, and if you're, by the way, in the UK, you get this thing with it too. You just click this off and you just put in this other thing and you just secure it in there again somehow, which I've got a little bit of trouble with. There it goes. Yeah. And I'm in the mainland Europe, so I just use it, but I don't need it. It is USB powered, and that is great. Just 2 cables there, and then you can travel and take this with you and let your computer power this whole screen. Pretty good. I enjoy that. Nice. And so far I would say I'm pretty impressed with it. And the next thing I'm just going to do a little artwork with it and just probably speed that up a little bit and just show a bit how I work on this. But so far I would say the build is really good. It is not too heavy, it's lightweight, so you can actually lift it up, hold on your arm and just pretend you're using a sketchbook. Nice size too. That stand really sturdy, surprisingly sturdy, and holds the tablet really well. Just fits, and you can press on the angles and it just won't move. It just stays, and working really great. And that is in Sketchbook. I'll just show you probably another application. Switch off Sketchbook. Let me do this one. Oh, that canvas is a mess, and let's put it that way. This is Rebel. It's going to show you that Rebel, and the same again. These functions work right away, and if I paint in Rebel, again going from thin to very thick, not a problem. And with Rebel I can increase the brush size from this dial and just switch it, and again here press really light, it takes up that stroke and does that really well as well. Moving the canvas around, that works a little bit different in, I'll need to put the hand, there's a hand function there, and this one reacts, because this one doesn't react on a touch screen, that is switched off. And I'll push the hand, and then I can just move this around, and I'm going to scroll up, zoom in, zoom out, scroll up, scroll down, they call it. Works all great. And let's see, in this brush, really thin strokes, really thick strokes, very accurate, picks up the pressure, has great pressure curves and holds the pressure curves really well. I'm impressed. And also with the matte screen protector applied, it really feels like working on paper, as if I'm just painting on paper with a pen, and I do a lot of ink work, and that is being great. So far I would say the build quality is good, and the tablet itself is great, functions great, and I had some issues with getting it here. That's worth mentioning, not because I had issues, because the first one that arrived got damaged while being transported here. Not Artisul's fault, but just got damaged somehow, and I had to send that back. The second one got sent out too, and that one got lost in the mail for some reason, so they sent me a third one. And that is this one, and that finally arrived and and that worked great. And I can also say Artisul's support is great, because throughout all these steps with the machine, where it arrives broken, no problem, they just had me send it back and replace it. Then when it got lost, no problem, they sent me a new one. And through all that, they answered questions, were quick with replies. So support is great, and the product, I'm impressed with it. It's really great. And the last thing, I'm going to just do a speed painting on this and just show you just basically how it works and just give you a little bit of an idea of this. But so far for my review, I'm impressed with this. It is lightweight, so that's not really light, of course. I would say 1.5 kilo, but it's light enough to transport and take with you with your laptop and just use it elsewhere. And if you just use it at home, it's a great setup with the stand, works great. The pen, lightweight, you can use it for a long time, and it's really accurate, holds the pressure well, does the pressure sensitivity great. No tilt support, so if you're really a tilt user, then you need to play with your settings, but for this price I probably don't even expect tilt support. Personally, I don't need it. And buttons are there, the pen is really accurate. Is working really good, and the calibration is just easy to set up, easy to calibrate, as you've seen, and it just works great, and I'm impressed by it. So let's go to the second part, where I'll just do speed painting and you just get an idea of how this thing actually works when it's used in real life by somebody doing some art on it.